Alrighty, so now let's continue across the bar here. So we just finished up with messages. This icon will depend on if you actually have this product. It's a separate product that's purchased separately. And essentially this is a web conference product. And if you have this, there's a separate training specifically on this, so I'm not going to take a lot of time here, but that's what that icon is, and it will function if you have purchased the web conferencing portion of the system. The next one over is your My Conferences. So let's say that you actually wanted to schedule a conference versus just doing the live conference like what we showed you just a few minutes ago. In this section, we'll go ahead and we'll click on the Schedule a New Conference. The conference ID number, this is the ID number that you would actually access or call when you wanted to join the conference at that specific time. Now on your phones, there's a way to do that by hitting your MX Conference button and then enter the conference ID number. Your administrator should have also published a extension number that would allow you to get directly into the conference ID. And third, your administrator may have also created a external phone number where people can call in. It'll indicate that they're now in the conference center and ask them for the conference ID number, which is this number here. So lots of different ways, obviously, to get into the conferencing system. Now, the next thing here is the type. So is this going to be, are we going to have this call just once, or is it going to be an ongoing type of a phone call? When will it be? Today, and the time frame and so forth. So you can go in and actually schedule and pop up the calendar here and then put in the times and so forth. And how long are you expecting this meeting to go? Now, one thing to know is that this conference ID number will not be available until the time that you've indicated. So if you actually want to get on the call a little bit early, you'll actually have to open up the bridge beforehand then, and if I wanted a 1:30 call, I may actually want to put in a time a few minutes before that so that I can actually get in and establish the phone call and then allow other people to join. Now the duration actually will stay there as long as somebody's as long as the person that has created the conference is part of the conference. If we go beyond that 30-minute time frame and the person who created the conference is no longer in that room, it will terminate the conference. So just be aware of that. Again, if you have the web conference, you can actually go in and you can provide that option as well, and then when the host leaves, you can check this box and everybody else gets terminated and so forth. Then you can save or save an invite. If you save an invite, that will actually allow you to pop over into your email and you can email off the information. So quite a great excellent conference center and capabilities within the conferencing and conference rooms. Okay, so now we've come across and we are complete with this section here where we just talked about the My Conferences. This icon here is the same. It's just to go ahead and create your conference live, just like when we were down in this section and we right-clicked on the call and hit conference and it created that conference. You can also just click on this icon. As we indicated, there's numerous ways to do a lot of different things. Instant messaging is this next one, which is, as we indicated earlier, I can right-click and hit instant message on a specific user, or I can go to this instant message, go to my address book, find the person I want, and start IMing back and forth with that person there in that fashion. The next section over here, or the last icon on this row, is our voice call. We've indicated and shown this once, but I'll click it real quickly again. So if we want to initiate a call directly out of Mixi, we can come in here, we can type in a phone number, we can look at a list of the last bunch of numbers that we've already called and so forth and choose from one of those. It just makes it very nice and very convenient for us to be able to do that. So that's in the list in the calling here. So that completes this section as we went along each one of those different icons and all of these with our presence and statuses. So let's hop up here to the final row, which is right up along the top in this section. Okay, up along the top here we have the help option. We'll go ahead, and if you want to hop to Zolta's website, find out, this will tell you what version of software you're currently running. Just so you know, this will affect the different versions of Mixie and so forth, will affect the different features that are available. So if you're seeing some features that you have that I have not shown you here today, they may be because you are on a newer version, and vice versa. If you are on an older version, you may not see some of the things that we've shown you here. So just be aware of that. Under the help, you can also go into your help topics. Let's bring this down in here, and you can search for all the different functions, click on those things, and hit display here, and then it will show you everything about, for example, present states, and you can learn more information. So the online help is very extensive within the system itself. Now, if you are a supervisor, which I am currently, I'm a supervisor of these different groups, then there's some additional things that we will show you under the supervisor training module, but just briefly, this allows you to get in and see some of your different groups and queues and statistics based on that, and to also pull up your wallboard. Going next, you can hop over here to the view. You have your address book, just another way to access a bunch of these things: messages, log, parking lot, go to your text message history, look at your devices. This is the one that's probably most important, and again, this is typically used in call center applications, but other people use this as well. So if we have selected this group to do automatic call recordings for a group of users, and I've been given the rights to access those, then under here I would click on this auto call recordings, and that would pull up all of the, it'll go pull out of the database, it'll grab all of the calls that have been recorded. Let's just make this a little bit smaller here and just give you an idea quickly, and then I can sort based on time and date and user and group and all kinds of different things. So the automatic call recordings is a function of the system where available. If we come across in the conference section, we've pretty much covered all of this: my conferences, conference, and web conference. Again, just multiple ways to get there. Actions, if I want to voice call, intercom, instant message, or send a fax. Or again, one more place that you can go ahead and change your presence as well. The last one up here is your applications, where you can change your role. In the very beginning, we indicated how that was done, and since we're here, I'm actually going to log in, and I'm going to change my role, and I'm going to add in let's add in this YipTel group, and I'll hit OK, just so that you can see what difference that makes here on the screen. What you'll see is now I have my extension, which is 105, and now I also have this, I'm a supervisor within the YipTel group. And so what will happen is if calls come into my extension, they'll show up in this section here, and that's how I know that it's a call coming to me. But if a call pops up here in this section down here, then that will be the clear indication to me that this is a call coming in off of this YipTel line, and then I know how to answer it appropriately because it's coming up in this section of the call windows. So that's another way where your roles and so forth will play a huge part in the way that you process and handle phone calls. Okay, underneath your preferences, in the preferences section, there are several of these different items that relate specifically to call center type users. We have a separate video specifically done for the call center, so I won't focus on any of these types of functions in this specific video, but definitely if you're a call center agent or supervisor, you'll definitely want to watch that additional video. I'm going to hop over here into the address book, and you can see that it will give you some confirmations that if you want to delete some of these different types of things, just go ahead, and if you want confirmations and essentially asking you is it okay to do this, then go ahead and check these additional boxes. If you would like this software to always be up on top, you could click that. Probably not a good idea, but you could, if for some reason that's what you would like, you can definitely do that. And then here in the integration, this is definitely a key one. So if you are a user of Microsoft Outlook, definitely check this box, and that will go ahead and it will synchronize your contacts for you automatically to the contacts within your Outlook. So definitely go ahead and check that application. Now, default action, when you first, I'm actually going to change this back. When you first log in and go in here, if you double click on a user over here in the user section, if you double click on them, it's going to start a chat or an IM session. Now, I personally place a lot more phone calls than I do instant messages, so I have changed mine to where I indicate place a phone call when I double click on an entry. So these are just open and available for you to modify as you choose. Over here you can choose your shown property entries, so as you're looking at the different fields, these are the ones that come up standard, and you can modify those as needed. You can also change in your address book how you want to do that, done by name, ascending, descending, and so forth, as these options are all pretty self-explanatory, so I won't take a lot of time on them. I wouldn't necessarily change your appearance or the different fonts unless you really feel like you have a need to do that. Just leave them default. It seems to solve a lot of issues. The other thing next here in the application section. So under applications, it will come up and launch and stay in the system tray. You can launch it at startup if you choose, have it stay on top. I do like this where it will pop up a little pop-up box when calls and so forth come in down in the bottom right hand corner of my screen. I can choose that either bottom right or mid right side. I'll click bottom right because that's where I tend to like it. The next one is your keyboard shortcuts, and this is a pretty cool feature where you can go in and you can change and modify this, but the default is that if I go to, say for example, Word or Excel or something like that, and I highlight a phone number and then on my keyboard press Control F12, it will automatically place that phone call to that phone number for me. So I can be anywhere, highlight anything and any phone number, and go ahead and hit Control F12 and it's going to place that. So that's fantastic. When you come down here, prefix for external calls when initiated from MIXI. So if you don't want to have to dial 9, you can just input that and then you wouldn't have to enter it as you dial phone numbers. But again, most administrators will just write that so you don't have to do that anyway. So it can kind of be done or left either direction. Audio drivers, those are just indicating when you play your voicemails and sound notifications. Those will come up just standard. But the big section in here is definitely call handling. So let's go into that.